Gandang buhay po sa lahat. Gandang buhay, gender and development. Anyway, thank you for being here today. Next slide, please. I'd like you to think back to the last time you saw a group of students working on a practical project. Or maybe you would remember during our basic education years, elementary, high school, we had EPP or TLE subject. And our TLE teachers or EPP teachers maybe want us to build something like a cabinet. Or other groups work as preparing ingredients for preparing a meal. Or just taking the notes. Today, we're going to dive into the lived experiences of technology and livelihood education students. We're going to explore a question that goes beyond from counting how many women or men are in the classroom. We are here to ask, are we truly providing equal access to the life skills necessary for human survival and dignity? Throughout history, TLE has unfortunately been heavily colored by gendered expectations. But today, I'm going to show you not only where the barriers lie, but how our students are actively breaking them down and how our higher education institutions can help. Next slide, please. Thank you po. To understand the present, we must briefly acknowledge the past historically colonial and patriarchal systems. Map out very rigid lines. As what you can see here, during pre-colonial era, everyone was actually given a chance, both men and women, to do some agricultural field and the rest. But during the colonial era, Spanish, American, there were somewhat like gender separation or segregation. Let's just say home economics for women and industrial arts for men. And to the modern, specializations are still informally labeled as for girls or for boys. This research is anchored by the following theories: social, cognitive, feminist, intersectionality, ecological systems. So it means like how gender expectations shape the capabilities of both men and women. It isn't always explicit. Next slide, please. This research approach is qualitative research using Husserl's descriptive pheno, and this one is conducted at higher educations in Cebu. Purposive sampling of among BTLEd pre-service teachers and semi-structured interviews infused with the Filipino culture, which is pakikipagkapwa or shared identity or respect. The analysis of data was being extracted significant through themes and synthesized into rich narratives. A subtle nod from a teacher that assumes male student is naturally better suited to fix broken circuit, while a female student is expected to tidy up the work-up station. Next slide, please. To prove here are the themes. The first theme, we have belief in equal opportunities. Our students believe that there should be equal opportunities among men and women in the classroom. But there are still persistence of stereotypes and imbalances. Theme 3, experiences of varied treatment. There are students accept that it's okay. You're a girl, so you go to industrial arts. But the rest, I got discouraged from taking a mechanics class because someone says I'm only for cookery. Theme 4, strategies for true inclusivity. These small moments build what we call the invisible walls for TLE. Next slide, please. Thank you po. Now, let's talk about these invisible walls. We see lack of non-traditional role models, which triggers something called stereotype. Stepping into unconventional fields creates psychological anxiety and feelings of not belonging. Maybe some think that treating structural barriers purely as lack of personal hard work. If you're a man, you are stronger than women, meaning you can create and hold the group. Next slide, please. But perhaps the most fascinating finding is what we call the bayanihan trap. Bayanihan is a beautiful Filipino culture indeed. It means communal unity and cooperation. However, when we put students into unstructured group of work, this exact desire for smooth cooperation causes them to automatically default to what is comfortable. Okay, so let's do it fast. Okay, men, you do this heavy work, and the rest will do the documentations. They're actually not trying to be sexist, but they're trying to be efficient. But in doing so, they rob each other of the chance to learn new and familiar skills. Next slide, please. But here is the incredible news, my dear friends. The students themselves are ready for a massive shift. When we look at their transformative visions of the future, two beautiful themes emerge. Number one, first is what we identify as holistic skill mastery. It composed of physical, emotional, mental, social, or being creative. Our students are actively refused to be confined by gender divisions of labor. They want to learn all of this as much as they can. The second major theme is that driving for sustainable livelihoods. Maybe when you think about TLE, you might come up it or link it to TLE competencies to 21st century environmental survival. This includes community resilience, urban planting, and waste reduction. But have you realized, what about those gender roles? Survival requires everyone to know how to grow food, not only for women. Fix what is broken is not only for men. And manage resources together. Next slide, please. Because our students are ready, our educational institutions must step up. We cannot just hope for equality, we must engineer it. Here is our actionable plans for HEIs. I'd like to summarize it into three. Enforce a skill-based role rotation matrix. What is this? We must stop letting students default to their comfort zones. Lab activities must be strictly structured so that every student rotates. So for this performance, you will do the heavy work, and the next performance, you will be the one to do the documentations. Embed environmental dimensions. We must align our TLE modules with the students' desire for ecological survival, integrating waste reduction and food security across all specializations. And the last one is the post-activity reflection. That will be after a project, give the students at least 5 minutes to process. Ask them, why did you take on that specific role today? We have to make the unconscious conscious. Next slide, please. To conclude, we're calling for an ontological shift. It's how we view technology and livelihood education. It's not beyond achieving the equal number of students having the equal numerical participation in classroom. It's about shared purpose. It means providing unhindered, prejudice-free access to the core competencies every human being needs for sustainable everyday living. Once I asked my mom, why did you pursue college, Ma? And she answered me, it was being inculcated by our grandparents that only men or women stayed at home as a plain housewife. Only men should work for the family. By reconstructing our pedagogy around structured role rotations and ecological stewardship, we do more than just break stereotypes. We build an educational vehicle that simultaneously upholds human dignity and environmental care. Thank you for your time and your attention and your commitment to building a fair classroom for the future. Gandang buhay pa sa lahat. Maraming salamat po.